Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest narration of the web series Accidentally Adopted. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Part 4, Chapter 12, An Office. Log 6,001.0.20. Personal, Captain Yormdrill. I had decided that the debriefing could wait. Tomorrow is soon enough. It is clear to me that Gregory is quite deeply affected by the stress of command, and perhaps the sheer amount of killing. His accuracy could just as easily cut him. It was, well, because Yormdrill came to speak with me in the morning. I'd been lounging, contemplating our choices and actions, letting the gratitude of my family's safety wash over me when he clambered onto the sofa and onto my chest. I would have been content to hold him in silence, but he was apparently ready to talk.
Daddy?
Yes, son? He seemed to be at a loss for words for a moment, and I was not impatient to know what he wished to say. Waiting was sufficient.
I was not very brave.
What do you mean? His lower arms tightened over my chest as he fidgeted with his upper hands, a sign that he needed some solidity to order his thoughts.
Ever since the bad man took me away,
he began hesitantly,
I was afraid. I wanted to cry, so I was so afraid the whole time.
Son, what is bravery? Yormdrill's distressed panting slowly became more normal breathing, and the pressure of his embrace lessened somewhat as he replied,
Not being afraid?
No, that's not true at all. The bravest man I ever knew, your grandpa, told me that he was so afraid he wanted to scream on every rescue. But he was always doing brave things anyway. He told me this. Being brave doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. It means that you do what's right, even if you're afraid. No, getting taken away by a bad man would scare me.
But you're a grown-up.
Oh, yes. But that just means that I would be able to hit the bad man hard enough to make him stop.
Nah, I guess so.
What was the right thing for you to do?
To watch the bad men and get away when they weren't looking,
he replied quickly. Exactly. And you did that and helped lots of other kids get away. It must have been very scary, so you have to be very brave to do it. He responded by burying his face in my chest as he wept. I embraced him and said, I'm so proud of you for being so brave and clever. I'm more happy than I can say that you're home safe and sound, my little star. I shall have to look into resources for traumatized children. Later, I spoke with Gregory. I was having a refreshing glass of juice in the galley, watching other ships go through their docking procedures when he approached me. Hey, Pops, he signed. I've been wanting to talk with you. Do you fear to make sound once again? I signed back. No, he replied with a soft smile. I enjoy listening when I return from a mission. I see, I answered skeptically. What did you wish to discuss? I do not have my head doctor, he began with the uncertainty of someone trying to find the words. Is it allowed to talk about these things with you? I do not want to bother. I cut him off by putting my hand over his and said aloud, You are family and crew. Speak or sign as you would. I released him, and it looked as though emotion had tightened his throat. A moment, I nodded, and it appeared that he was thinking. A large part of what makes me myself is my job. My job that protected my brothers, like I did on the away mission. I spent a lot of time and effort making sure that I wouldn't be given a different job by being promoted too high for a rank to do it. I did this by getting, we call it busted, down to the lowest enlisted rank every time I was close to being made a senior non-commissioned officer. Now I have an office on the ship and an officer's rank. I'm happy to have useful jobs on the ship and grateful to belong, but I feel uneasy. It is well that you can speak so completely about this. What is your unease? Am I still me? I do not act as I once did. I am not an Overwatch. I do not scout ahead. I am an officer and a teacher instead. Am I the same man? No, you are not the same man, just as I am not the same man I was a week ago. He flinched at that. I have always been prepared to protect my family, but doing it has changed me. Perhaps I understand you a little better now. His cheeks flushed and he frantically sighed. Pops, you already got me. Don't worry about that. I'm different. I'm thinking about things I've never considered before, like retiring from the Navy, life of a service. Never before? I do not want to leave the Weesing. I do not want to leave you guys. Maybe I have served my people well enough to lay down my duty with honor. If we can ever get you home, see, once the thing, he said as he slid a data chip across the table. I have a lead. The lead was a collection of ports of call with notes and kinds of criminal contacts that could be found. Several names of a ship with corresponding transponder codes, likely all the same ship, and a name, Beastmaster Selvase. Scorching void, that breached son of a 2-credit harlot, and a welching customer. Dear Diary, the net is completely nuts with sneaky fever. We're even thinking about going shopping for necessary equipment now that the election is going forward. The leading parties are both trying to take credit for our martial law. Lame. There's a new party that's formed, the Let's Just Do What the Star Sailors Do party, which is pretty funny since they have some odd ideas about what we would do. Like, they want to mandate formal robes or other clothes twice a month. Other stuff, like actually punishing people for crimes and not taking bribes from crime syndicates, is pretty sensible. It's looking like they might win. The Justicar, the light of justice in the darkness, and her crew are going through all of the information that Daddy and Greg got from taking the gangers. And what they have released so far has been, well, the net is pretty fired up over the entire planetary government and every last city being under criminal control. It's looking like we're setting off another round of elections. If I remember right, Jukuvia has planetary parliaments under a monarch. I think it's a queen just now, but I don't care enough to look it up. Anyway, it's going to take clearing out their entire parliament to get the change they want on this planet. Planet-side supplies will be out of the question, but Pavdrol and Pindrol think that their leads I found on machines can be taken advantage of in the station's current state. They say that the locals are even more friendly after we got rid of most of the thieves, assaulters, and gangers on the station. The Lord Justicar had even sent investigators to some murders. 3 murderers turned themselves in when they heard, apparently hoping for a less harsh sentence. Anyway, all of this means that we might be able to take advantage of how viral Greg and the fancy clothes Ringy made him. Well, her and her mom did. Greg is pretty good with the modeling program on the holocom. He's still annoyed about trying to model the hat correctly, though. I saw him poking at it this afternoon. He reminded me that he expects a cut from the sales. Well, duh. His family and crew. Not to mention it's a plush of him. So obviously he gets a cut. Journal entry 34. Date 1/7/2. Name Greg George. Okay, so Pops is pretty good to talk things over with. I'm still me, just a different me. I can still protect my family, the family in front of me. That's good enough. I just have to do it differently. By teaching and commanding on away missions, not a likely thing to do again, but it is wise to be prepared. Then there's the lead. Home. The 4th Fleet, getting plopped down on Sanctuary until I clear a Psyche-Val again. Retirement? Re-upping? Saying goodbye to one or the other? Feck! On the plus side, Green dropped by and dropped off that Magak. It's only as long as I am tall, so not quite the range I'm used to, probably. Uncle said that he can have it modified for my use in a day or 2. The sidearm is still giving him some trouble. Pop said that he'd cross-reference the info I got from the sketchy lawyer with what we took from the HQ. Home. The wee sing. Feck.
Dear Loggery, Sneaky was right. Daddy is very smart. We will learn how to make me strong like Sneaky and Daddy.
End of chapter. I would just like to thank the T5 supporters. Bushmaster 117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Carrington, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.